We understand a 56-year-old campaign worker was standing under one of those canopies here just outside the polling location. At one point, a driver in a pickup truck pulls up, opens fire. We're told that campaign worker was hit at least one time in the shin. He was quickly taken away in an ambulance to the hospital for treatment. Now, getting around here in Charlotte, it isn't easy. Constant roadblocks, occasional downpours, and that North Carolina humidity. Each machine will now be picked apart. All the wood sorted onto one pile, all the metal ends up in another. The river now at lower levels, which means on their boats they can only make it as far as some of these old tree limbs. Well, they got to walk the rest of the mile and a half to the highway now. But why are hundreds and thousands of these little guys still washing ashore? Oh, we went straight to the experts to find out. There's several folks here that are really just beginning the cleanup process. You look down this road and it'll give you a quick snapshot of what folks have had to been dealing with most of today. Some folks just getting here, getting ready to clean up. This is possibly where Andres could be simply too risky right now because of the fact that there's extreme currents right here. The big problems here at the convention right now are these coastal showers that we continue to get in Tampa. Why don't you look over my shoulder, looking out over the Garrison Channel. If you take a close look at the makeup of this, it's almost quite primitive. Simple branches, some dried grass that's used for bedding inside, even a lone sock there. Proof that people were staying here for a long time. All over the property there are signs of life. What stands out the most is the used toilet paper that we find all over the property, a clear health hazard. And then you wonder where these people were staying. This is it right here. It's a small den or structure that I guess you could call. You have to crawl inside. And once you're inside, you're able to really appreciate how confined this space is. Starting from the right, you see what's left of some canned goods, a few bottles of water, a few plastic bags, and again, that bedding that people were sleeping on made up of entirely of dried grass and some brush. Right now at 4, we explain why a heavily wooded area now has the attention of Weslaco police. Also, flu season threatening your spring break. We've got some tips that can help you dodge the flu headed your way. And a little later, the new iPad has hit the stores and the newsroom. Channel 5 Internet Director tells us what the hype is all about. All these stories and more as Channel 5 News at 4 begins now. Well, visiting with family members in jail could soon be going cyber. The Travis County jail system will be testing video chatting software at its prisons. Any of the 2,000 inmates in the system can pay about $20 to video chat with their relatives for about 20 minutes. Now, this could also be a major moneymaker for the county. You see, $4 from each call would eventually go back into the system. Let's switch gears now. Some of your weather headlines. Carrie, we have some pleasant weather conditions here in the valley. Not the same for other parts of the country right now.
No, unfortunately not, Polo, but
But tonight we bring you proof an Hidalgo County human smuggling corridor is busier than ever.
Now, we set out to document what really happens in the small community of La Cuchilla. It's actually a small cluster of homes. It's just 2 miles southwest of downtown Mission. We saw for ourselves exactly what Border Patrol agents are up against every day. An endless flow of human traffic that remains constant tonight. Our closer look at this part of Mission started yesterday afternoon, the curbside of La Cuchilla Circle. 12 people were rounded up by Border Patrol agents. Scenes like these are normal for neighbors here. A look from above shows why. To the south, Mission's hike and bike trail. It provides the perfect hideout for illegals. To the north, a way out of the valley. Caught in the crosshairs sits La Cuchilla. Down on the street, we saw 4 others caught south of our first stop. That's 16 people captured by our cameras within 1 hour. This morning, the numbers kept climbing. Mission police couldn't communicate with this group caught moving north. They're from India.
That's you. That's where you are.
We used a GPS to show them how far they traveled.
India. That's where you're from.
Yeah.
What part? Where? Ahmedabad? Ahmedabad? Oh, both of you are from Ahmedabad.
We asked one of the men about his tourist t-shirt. They found it on the way to the valley. Border Patrol agents eventually arrive and place this group in a paddy wagon. Its seats continuously crowded these days. We continued our trek north through the cover of Mission's hike and bike trail. Only 5 minutes into our shoot, we cross paths with another group.
¿De qué parte vienen? ¿Se perdieron?
These 5 tell us they're from San Luis Potosí. They claimed they were abandoned by their smuggler, left to wander all night through the meandering trails.
¿Dónde durmieron ayer?
The group is hesitant to tell us more. We walk away. Moments later, they scurry past me, out of view, into the shadows. Illegals like the ones we saw slip past families like Ricardo Palma's every day.
Sometimes we feel bad for the people, right? Because they came here for the
Better life.
yes, better life, American dream, and it's not like that.
Palma watches over his family, knowing the peace on his street can be broken at any moment.
It's something different because we solve a lot of stuff that anybody they can see it.
He sees the chases, the smuggling, and the people who simply pass through this tiny corner of Mission. And the total tally of people that we ran across during our visit to La Cuchilla, 25 during those hours. Now, as we've reported, Border Patrol resources have been drawn down, including fuel usage and also manpower. Right now, we're waiting to hear back from a spokesperson for BP. We want to find out if they're having any trouble keeping up with the amount of illegals that are being caught in the region that we just showed you tonight. We'll let you know when we hear back from them.
This Labor Day will mark his 25th anniversary.
Lina Garza will tell you time may help numb the pain of losing a father.
I've been thinking about this case for going on 25 years now, every night, every day, every picture.
It won't provide any answers, though.
And it's just time, I think, to try to get it solved.
Garza's filled with a sudden burst of determination. She wants to know what really happened September 7th, 1988. Who kidnapped and killed her father, Arnaldo Garza Sr. The 45-year-old's decomposing body was found 13 miles north of Mission 2 months after his abduction.
I did put this out this past October, raising questions about where are Garza's records.
Garza asked the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office and Edinburgh Police for her father's cold case.
The Sheriff Department says that they don't have anything.
An Edinburgh police investigator had a different response. He found the file and much more.
He also said that along with the records, he found my father's remains. And this is a part of the remains that we thought we had laid to rest.
Garza's family was never told their father's skull was kept in an evidence locker.
We've passed through the police department for the past 24 years, up and down, back and forth. We go in to pay speeding tickets, parking tickets, whatever, and the whole time there was a part of my dad in there, needing to be discovered.
Visiting Dad's grave isn't the same anymore for Garza. She now knows he's not really at peace.
That's really hard to just take in and think, why wasn't he laid to rest whole? Why was this part of him kept?
We posed those questions to Edinburgh PD. While they refuse to appear on camera, a spokesperson does offer a possible explanation. The remains could have been kept for future identification. Now, a definite answer is hard to get, though. Most of the investigators that worked on the case either retired or passed away.
I made this 24 years ago.
Garza accepts she might never know why a portion of her father's body was stored away for decades. The discovery does add a new tough task.
I still want peace for him, and I need peace for myself. I need to rest. I need to put him to rest.
Edinburgh police quickly handed the remains over for burial.
It's going to be unbelievably hard. We never got a chance to see an open casket. Now, 25 years later, we'll be opening that casket, if it's still there.
Garza promises to continue her search for answers following her father's reburial. First, a warning. Some of the images you're about to see are not recommended for young viewers. The pictures show the border bloodshed, a place that knows no peace, one of Mexico's most dangerous cities. It is just a few blocks from American soil. A sense of normalcy fills the busy downtown streets of Laredo. People here go about their business feeling relatively safe. It's hard to believe a river and the span of 4 international bridges is all that divides them from what's becoming a war zone.
Desde que nos levantamos en la mañana, primero rezamos, nos ponemos en manos de Dios, salimos a hacer nuestras actividades y sí nos queda un pensamiento de saber si vamos a regresar o vamos a ver otra vez a nuestras familias, ¿no?
Raimundo Ramos braves the violence to tell the story of hurt in his hometown.
Los que vivimos en Nuevo Laredo ya la sabemos, de principio a fin, porque ya lo hemos vivido, ya van casi 10 años viviendo este grado de inseguridad.
He heads the city's Human Rights Committee, giving a voice to those too afraid to speak out against cartels.
Que están causando dolor a familias enteras, a personas ajenas a la delincuencia, mujeres, niños.
The war between the Zetas, Gulf, and Sinaloa cartels is intensifying. The result is lawlessness on the streets. Ramos is seeing Nuevo Laredo go from bad to worse.
El grado de violencia empezó pues con atentados, con asesinatos, con secuestros, después con crímenes masivos, después con personas desmembradas, después con personas colgadas y ahora sigue el coche bomba.
A truck packed with explosives blew up right in front of a busy city hall last month. The aftermath comparable to the war-torn streets of Iraq or Afghanistan.
Los delincuentes no solamente están enviando mensajes al ciudadano común o a la autoridad con estos actos de terrorismo, con estos actos de violencia. Son mensajes para el gobierno de Estados Unidos.
Ramos believes car bombs are the cartel's new weapon of choice. The unexpected explosions instill fear. The chance an innocent bystander could become a victim are higher now.
El hecho de que hayan explosiones de coches bombas en sitios gubernamentales pues nos hace no ir a oficinas, no hacer trámites.
3 other car bombs were detonated on the streets of Nuevo Laredo this year. 2 of them targeted law enforcement. The first blew up in the city's entertainment district. The damage goes far beyond physical injury or pain.
Hemos visto imágenes de niñas aterrorizadas de por vida, porque eso nunca se les va a olvidar, esa experiencia nunca se les va a olvidar, porque estuvieron cerca de un coche bomba.
The flow of people crossing into Laredo for safety is constant. Already, 26,000 families have abandoned their homes in Nuevo Laredo. Another 8,000 businesses have closed down, and that's just in the last 3 years alone. And as the violence continues intensifying just south of here, expect those numbers to rise.
We have an obligation to do our part to curb the violence.
The destruction is heavy on Laredo Mayor Raul Salinas' mind. His city has grown in population because of the violence.
We have over 5,000 law enforcement officials that are working diligently to make sure that we don't have spillover.
The mayor takes measures to protect people on the U.S. side. People like Ramos are taking steps of their own.
Yo procuro en mi tránsito diario estar alejado de los coches. Y si yo veo a alguien sospechoso adentro manipulando algo, me retiro.
Ramos is not quite ready to give up.
Poder contarle a nuestros hijos que en los tiempos más difíciles aquí estuvimos, no la abandonamos.
Like a few others, he's staying behind, protecting the home where their hearts live. A place where hope is always possible tomorrow. Polo Sandoval, Channel 5 News at 10, Laredo.